front of my camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Giants fans, what is going on? This is Spartan Mike. I am back, at least for this week. I have been on the show a handful of times this fall. We're going to get back to it in full circle come the winter time. I miss you guys, miss interacting, miss being live on the show, all the cool stuff that we've been able to do and be a part of. You know, unfortunately, I've had to take a step back this during the season, which has not been ideal. But miss all you guys, miss the crew here at Rush. I don't miss the Giants in terms of how they're playing. Of course, I do miss being able to talk about what's going on. So this week, Craig will probably be here a little bit late, and we're going to get into a couple different subjects today. We're going to get into whether or not we would prefer the Giants to lose out and get the first at this point. We're going to talk about some of the discipline matters within the Giants, how we feel about the news, the reports. Are these reports valid? Can we trust our news? We're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about the GM search. Should there be one? We're going to talk about the head coach search because obviously that's in flight right now. We'll talk about Jackson Dart. Are we feeling that he's the franchise quarterback? And then we're going to leave a lot of this open at the end. After we discuss the Commanders game, we're going to leave it to you for one final drive, and we want to hear all your questions that you have. So feel free to comment them, and we'll get through them towards the end of the show. But first things first, Chris, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? How you been, brother?
It's good. I didn't do you right. Give me 14 seconds. All right, how was that? Was that better, brother?
No, it was really good, man. I appreciate you getting me right.
Great. It's good to be on the show with you, man. I mean, you started just a couple months ago, and unfortunately, we haven't overlapped that much. So I'm really happy that we're getting the chance to go live tonight. Obviously, you'll be involved throughout our draft show and the process there. Sure. But it's good to be on with you, man.
Likewise here, man. I'm really excited. I think the chat's gonna have a lot of fun today with some of the stuff that we're gonna be talking about. So I'm really looking forward to this stream, and it feels good to be back on. It's been a little bit for myself as well. So really excited, man.
Awesome. And let me be a little ahead of the time here. Let me get Joker on the show.
And here we go.
Joker, what's going on, brother?
Man, that outro right there, the end, always gets me every time. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm the elder statesman here tonight, so if I can keep up with the youngins here, but I'm excited about being on with Spartan again. It's been a while. We always have a good back and forth. We get a good debate every now and then, and I'm sure Christian will take the young guy's side, so it's probably going to be me against the world tonight.
That's right.
Most likely.
Yeah, that's all right, though. That's why I'm the Joker.
That's why I'm the Joker, brother. And Chris, I mean, look,
right.
we got a lot to talk about. I mean, it's been a minute since I've been on. You guys have already summed up what's been going on. Each week we've been, for the most part, losing. A couple nice wins there in October. I did appreciate that. Beating the Eagles always feels great. After that Broncos third quarter, it's been entirely downhill, and we're back at the bottom of the barrel. So we have a lot that we have to hash out, and with an unfortunate season like this, there's big pivotal moments that are coming in the offseason. And again, we always say it. We can forgive every mistake that's been made with the Giants the last 10 years. If you get it right and you get this team back to being a championship status team, I can gladly forgive everything. We forgive the 1970s because we had the 1980s, right? We could forgive the 90s because by 2007, 2011, we won some Super Bowl. We can forgive problems and the problematic era. But you got to do the right thing, and you got to move on. And, Sean, we don't have Craig on the show tonight. Chris, I don't know how you feel. We hold Mara very accountable for what's been done. Now, I feel bad for him. I know he's going through a lot right now. I won't comment on that. But ultimately, at the top level of this organization, changes are going to have to be made, and they're going to have to do what they haven't done the last couple times these changes have been made, and that's they're going to have to ask the right questions. So,
yeah. No,
they do.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. And it's the right time to make a clean sweep because we're an attractive destination. We got a franchise quarterback. We got a good running back room with Tracy and Scatabo. We got Malik Neighbors. We got Brian Burns on defense. We got Dexter on defense. We got Carter on defense. We got a young nucleus. This is an attractive destination coming up, and we'll have a top 10 pick in the drafts. Like, you can get the best of the best this go around, right? Like, so we should absolutely get the best of the best this go around. We shouldn't do these half measures. It's time. It's time. Do the full sweep.
I agree.
I agree.
Chris, full sweep at this point?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a no-brainer, in my honest opinion. You can make an argument that they should have done a full sweep last year. And you look at the head coaching carousel that was last year, where you have Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel, and those are two coaches that were hired. And look at the franchises they went to: New England and Chicago. Both teams that are competing right now. They're teams that are looking like some of the best teams in the NFL. One of them just manhandled the New York Football Giants on prime time. So I think right now is the opportune time to go out and do a full clean sweep. Right now, I think the results are what the results are. And I think that this is going to be in a very important head coaching search and general manager search, hopefully. As you guys stated, this is a very desirable position, which has not been in quite some time. But you have a high first-round pick, Jackson Dart, pieces on defense, a left tackle, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatabo. You get the right guy in here, and watch how fast things can change.
Not to mention the top 10 O-line, or actually top 5 at this point with the Giants O-line, right? So factor that in. Absolutely.
Well, and it's funny because the offense had to do the biggest 180 in the past year, and I actually got to give them props. I mean, it's the defense that looks entirely dysfunctional now, and it's the offense that, we could use another different offensive coordinator for better play calling and better execution and critical, matters like fourth down, red zone, that kind of stuff. That's where we got to clean it up. But I think a weapon away, another weapon of some sort, we're going to be looking really good going to next year. You get that offense coordinator hire right. You don't get it right, we're going to deal with the Jason Garrett situation. That can be very problematic. I think it's the defensive side of the ball where, things have been completely haywire this past year. And obviously coaching is a huge issue. And I was willing to give Bowen a chance. But, what we saw out there, the output was very poor, heavily criticized by former defensive players throughout the NFL. Very bland, very predictable. That was the general criticism slate. So again, need another coordinator there too. But we'll talk about some of the guys that, might need to be replaced at a later time. I wanted to start off with this. And Chris, I know, general manager, this is something that, Sean has put a lot of work into. If you have comments or just in general what you're looking for, we want to hear it. But maybe we start off with general manager search, because as we said, it starts from the top. And Joker, I'll start with you, man.
Yeah.
Who do you want the Giants gunning for as general manager? Because there's a few options, but the list is probably a little bit narrower than head coach.
Yeah, so I have one name, and I had mentioned this last offseason when we were talking about who might be a GM. So one guy that I'm looking at is Ray Agnew from the Lions, former Giants player. Lions know how to draft. They got a certain type of player they're looking for, which I want here, physical. And then if you're going to, without knowing names from others, but give me somebody from the Rams over there, that front office, because let me tell you what, they didn't have a first-round draft pick in 5 years. And they're nailing it in the back end. They're doing well with the undrafted free agents. That defense, who's crushing it this year, there's not a lot invested. It's mostly like third round, fourth round undrafted free agents that are playing reclamation projects with Emmanuel Forbes. So I want somebody from there who can spot talent, because we clearly are lacking in certain areas. So that's one, like Ray Agnew, or give me somebody from the Rams organization.
Yeah. And first we got to welcome the king himself. Craig, what is going on, brother?
All right. I missed you guys. I apologize for being late. I just drove from Pittsburgh. Yes, 5.5 hours.
Wow.
How's your back feeling?
I'm all jacked up right now.
You ready to talk about a 2-11 football team right now?
Oh, well, I miss you guys. I'm doing it for you guys.
Well, we appreciate you. That's dedication right there.
100%, man. 100%. Because Grayson did not want to talk to me at all about the Giants over 5.5 hours. He's like, Dad, my fantasy team is cranking. I don't want to hear anything about how bad the Giants are.
Can't blame him.
No.
Well, you can always complain to us about the Giants, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Well, this is your program, so we're complaining to you.
No. I appreciate you guys holding down the fort. Where are we? What are we talking about?
We're talking about the general manager search, assuming Joe Shane gets canned here. And by the way, guys, I do want to disclose something from conversations I've had. Nobody knows who's making decisions above Joe Shane at this time. The media insiders are really struggling to figure it out. Banks has alluded to it's probably Chris Mara. I think that makes sense. Craig, we're not going to say who said it, but one of the best interviews we ever did offline. We found out a lot, and it made us realize, well, hell, Chris Mara actually should probably be running the organization. But we'll get to that at a different time. But it's very difficult because McDonald's also there, and he's the prodigy. So we don't know what's going to happen here, and it could actually affect whether or not Shane does go. But Craig, floor is yours. Do you have any general manager candidates throughout the NFL that you're looking at? Or if not, are there any teams that you're kind of looking at and saying, I want somebody from that organization because I want them to try to replicate what was built there?
Well, it's really a tough question to answer because I was told yesterday, not that I'm like breaking any news, but I got a friend of mine, pretty good source, told me that the Giants are looking because Mara's health's not great, and they may be looking to bring in a head coach / GM with experience because of they don't want to put any more pressure on what's happening with John and him being involved and going through that long process of, going through a young coach or a young GM. So I've got a feeling that the Giants are going to look for two proven commodities on the head coach. Whether we like him or not is not the question, right? Like whether it's Gruden and his lawsuit goes away, or it's McCarthy, that kind of a thing, and then a general manager that has some sort of general manager experience, assistant GM, or something to that effect. Coming from the Pittsburgh market, the last 24 hours, the Pittsburgh fans in the small sample size that I got, but it was at a high level, right? Because I was on a college lacrosse recruiting event. So you're talking to, guys that are, in high level sports. The Pittsburgh fans are kind of over Tomlin, and, so there is that Mara Rooney connection, right? I don't know if Tomlin got canned, whether he would take a year off or not, but as far as a candidate, I don't know if I have one right now, Mike, but from what this individual told me on Friday, that they're looking for stability because they're not going to be able to get the support from the upper management as they go through this, I don't know what you want to call it, this bump in the road on the health side. Nobody needs any more pressure, than they need right now because the health is important. So they're like, hey, do we have some stable bodies that can run this organization so we can concentrate on the health of the owner?
Sean, I see you shaking your head, and I think we're kind of on the same page here. One thing that irks me about this, and again, I understand the circumstances, and I feel absolutely terrible for John, but this doesn't really feel like they had a plan in place in case something like this were to ever happen. If they're making reactive moves to a current circumstance for a long run solution to try to address the fact that they need to win and need to win championships. So I understand the mindset of why they're there, but I just would have figured that they'd have a little bit more of like a, if John is not well or then move on and this is his replacement. It's Chris until 2032. After 2032, McDonald, that's kind of how I figured this would be. And it wouldn't have to be such like a storm of stop, drop, and roll. And now let's do some safe hiring for GM and head coach, just so we don't have to worry about things. And I don't know, Sean, I'll hand it over to you for your thoughts on that too. And Chris, you as well.
Yes, it's an unfortunate circumstance, so I get it. So I got two thoughts to that. Number one, we finally, as we just talked about, we have an attractive destination for a GM and a head coach and we got to do a safe hire because of what's going on, which I understand. And the one positive that I might take from that is maybe other people will be more hands off and the GM will have more power, more control if they're dealing with what's going on with John, which could be a positive for once, because we haven't really had that in probably 11, 12 years since this whole shit show has been going on. So that's the one positive, maybe, if that is true and that's what they're looking to do, so they can be more hands off and somebody knows what they're doing, then maybe we'll get a true GM running things. I was a little worried when you first said it, Craig, because I thought that you were saying that the head coach was also going to be the GM. I'm like, oh, we're screwed.
No,
like, so two
Never
separate
works-
people.
never
Yeah,
works
yeah.
out well.
Yeah. I was like, all right, thank goodness for that. But yeah.
It's more in line with, okay, if the Mara family is going through, again, you're talking about life or death. You want the man to get
Absolutely.
well, right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
So they may, and I don't sound like I know anything. I just told you what someone, mentioned that, there's a lot of
It's
things
true.
going on over there in the Mara family, and they've got a lot to worry about and a lot to take care of. So, hey, let's find a head coach and a GM that know how to run a football organization, right? Like what would be the word I'm looking for? Like shorter curve, right, than the longer curve. So like maybe somebody like I don't love McCarthy. He's not my favorite, and I don't know who McCarthy would come with, or like I said, like I don't know who the candidates would be, but I definitely know that anyone super green, I don't think is going to get the opportunity.
Well, there's two names that come to mind immediately. We talk about experienced GMs. That one would be John Dorsey. I would be okay with that because he's the one that got Patrick Mahomes. The other name I'd have to think about a little bit more. Scott Pioli. Those are two names I would think of that
on
could
the
come in.
older side, though, Sean. Like you're talking about guys that are in their early 70s, no, late 60s.
Well, Pioli, I don't think. Yeah, Pioli's in the 60s. He could do it. So if you want stability, if you want somebody who's been in that position and did well, those are two names I think of. Yes, age will be a factor, but those are two names immediately came to mind hearing what you said, Craig.
Yeah.
What about the who was the Falcons general manager? He's come up before. The Falcons guy from like 08 to 2020.
Oh yeah, he's another. He worked under Pioli. I can't think of his Dimitrov, Thomas Dimitrov.
Yeah, that's
Thomas
it. I mean,
Dimitrov.
he's one that I would. I mean, they can.
Yeah, that's another name.
Keep top of mind. I wouldn't really mind that. I don't know. I mean, but we've kind of we cycle through things with all of our hires from top to bottom, coach and whatnot. It's like what we're lacking now. The lack of experience is like, kind of what we're citing is the reason like a lot of these guys are flopping. It's like, all right, let's go for somebody with tenure. It's like, well, we did that when we hired, Gettleman and Shermer. So that's why like I get a little worried when we start doing these things. But not with coach, because I think the experienced coach option market is way better right now than it was in 2018. The coach option sucked that year. General manager, I got a little worried about because they obviously knew how to build the team, but they got fired because the team fell apart. And, Gettleman was there for a bit. Well, he didn't draft Newton, but he drafted Keek. Well, he did build a franchise and it collapsed. So, I all these things are kept top of mind. But Chris, I wanted to ask you, man. I mean, like, do you have any organizations top of mind that you look at and you want the Giants to replicate?
Yeah, so I have 2 assistant general managers that I would love to bring in, even if it's for an interview. And what both of these guys have in common is they are assistant general managers, but they're head of player personnel for these teams. So the first one is going to be John McKay. As Sean had alluded to earlier, he is with the Rams. He's assistant general manager, but he is head of their player personnel. One thing that was really, in my opinion, very impressive about this Rams team is that a lot of people look at that defense and they have 4 undrafted rookies, playing on that defense. They're playing sound, but I think it goes back even further than this year. I mean, what other organization has been able to trade away multiple first-round picks, go and win, and then say, hey, we're going to rebuild this thing? And then now, I mean, I think outside of the Packers and maybe the Seahawks, but outside of the Packers, they have a very good shot to go back to the Super Bowl in the NFC this year. Yeah. So if there's anyone, I feel like, who would be a quality candidate that has seen what a successful franchise is, that sees, okay, this is how we can build, not just for the now, but for the future. And we can locate certain players and bring in the right guys to get the most out of these players, it would be someone from the Rams tree. So I like John McKay. And then another one is same thing, assistant general manager and player personnel as well. His name is R.J. Gillen from the San Francisco 49ers. They're another team where year in and year out, regardless of how many injuries, I mean, next to the Ravens, the 49ers deal with so many injuries year in and year out, but that doesn't stop them. Unlike the Giants, who they could lose one player on their offensive line and it's good night. The 49ers, they deal with injuries year in and year out, but they somehow find a way to find and locate these players, whether it's through free agency, whether it's through the draft, whether it's through picking up guys off of the street. They're able to locate quality players in their eyes and maximize them to the best of their ability. Now, does that translate into Super Bowl wins in terms of the 49ers? Not necessarily, but
they're in the dance.
You're in the conversation.
Exactly. Whereas the
people
Giants
aren't getting fired in that organization.
Right. And they've been in 2 Super Bowls they should have won if better coaching decisions in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Exactly. And they're going against Patrick Mahomes too. But I agree with you.
And still should have beat them.
It's funny to think about this for a sec, because the Bills was almost the exact opposite situation where we hired Shane From. It's like they got the quarterback right. Though the rest of the talent was kind of so-and-so, but they got the quarterback right. The funniest thing with the 49ers was they're so talented. They had a first-round draft pick quarterback bust and
didn't miss a beat.
Noticed. You have no idea. Like, it never even happened. They're one of the few teams I've ever seen do that.
And they know how to draft middle linebackers.
Very true.
Yeah. When was the last time we did that? 1984 with Banks?
To kind of piggyback off of what you just said, and then Craig, I'll let you talk real quick. To kind of piggyback off what you just said, what I really do admire from not just the 49ers, not just the Rams, you could throw Baltimore in there too. You could throw the Chiefs, maybe not within the last 2 years, but these are guys that they actually learn from their mistakes. They might not hit on every single pick, but they quickly learn from their mistakes. And if they feel like, hey, what we thought was going to work is not working, we need to pivot. Whereas we've seen with Joe Shane, how many times did they trot out Evan Neal? And you got people like us on the couch being like, hey, get this man off the field. Like, we've seen enough. And they're just like, no, we're going to stick to our guns. We're going to keep trotting this guy out there. We believe in our guys. I mean, what other team besides obviously the 49ers, they knew, hey, we missed big time on Trey Lance. We traded 2 first-rounders plus that first-rounder, so 3 first-round picks to trade up for this guy. And then lo and behold, the last pick in the draft is our franchise guy. They made no hesitation to be like, hey, we fucked up. We're going to move to this guy, but we fucked up big time. And the reason why nobody talks about it is because they're winning. Whereas with the Giants, we're losing, and we're over here trying to trot out our best players off of the team to just create headlines. Like, let me not get started, because then I'm going to get Sean started.
See, Craig, let me say this real quick. Craig, you show up late and Christian goes, let me finish this, then I'm going to let you speak. See what happens when you show up late? That's what happens.
Oh, good. I get demoted on my own show. It's okay.
Right?
That's right. You're in the bottom left corner today, my friend.
Yeah,
all love,
exactly.
Christian, all love.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting that happened, but I can always just do this.
It's good to be the king.
I'll just reintroduce myself.
I'll one up you.
It is good to be
now
the king.
Welcome back.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Spartan's on mute, so I guess he can't say anything anymore. All right. All right. So here's my 2 things I want to ask you guys. And this is an open-ended question, because I've done zero research on it, but like I'm listening to you guys talk, and so let's post Super Bowl 2012 till now, right? How many really good teams do we have, right, out there in the NFL? Whether it's the Ravens and the 49ers, or and again, you guys can shout out and throw some in here, but like, how many of them have an ex-NFL player of noteworthy ability or reputation, I should say, at some executive level? Coach, GM, player personnel. Like I feel like the Giants avoid having players, come back to the franchise and tell everyone else, A, how they did it, B, this is how you should do it, and C, you're doing it wrong, let me correct you. Because when I think of the Ravens, and again, I know Ozzie was there for decades, right? But I think when you think of the Ravens, I think of two guys. I think of Ozzie and I think of Harbaugh, right? And then players, of course, you think of Ray, right? And Suggs. Now this whole move is John Lynch, right? I mean, Shanahan,
Lynch.
right? So
Lions head coach,
Campbell, right? Yeah,
I would say, D'Amico Ryans with it. There's not that many.
So I'm starting to feel
many.
like there's some really good football guys. Now, I don't know if the football player or the or former football player in New York sees the money in broadcasting, so they make that leap. Okay, that's possible, and the New York market may do that. But moving forward, I'm just wondering if we need. And again, Cold will make fun of me, but I think he'll appreciate this. Like, maybe we just need to be old school again. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like maybe there's room for a football player. And yeah, you're right, Cold. Aaron Glenn isn't proven or great yet, but I still like him. I still like what he brings to the table.
We got Jesse Armstead in our front office.
Yeah, but he's like an assistant of an assistant, and then
I get it.
Like, I mean,
there's not that many. The whole NFL is going. I mean, when you think about the Lions, the Lions have in the front office and the head coach. The Texans have D'Amico Ryans. Niners have Lynch. Ravens don't have anybody. Harbaugh, he didn't play in the NFL
anymore.
But
it was Ozzie, but the Chiefs don't have anybody that is a former player in either position.
Vrabel.
Yeah, New England with Vrabel.
Vrabel, yeah.
I mean, most of these guys
it's like a handful.
Played at the college level, like he played college football, so I don't know if that counts in your book. Do you want true NFL only, or are you?
I'm just talking about football minds. You know what I mean? Like some of these guys that have played at a high level. Like if you,
it's so rare when they didn't play in college. I remember in 2009, the only one who didn't in the entire NFL was the Chiefs coach Todd Haley at the time. Like that was the only one that didn't play college ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike McDaniel played in college.
But I'm sure there's other guys too.
Shane played in college.
Yeah, but there's guys out there. Again, they have a cup of coffee. There's guys that maybe have value. Like again, I'm just putting names out. Don't take this literally, but like, isn't it time that Chase Blackburn gets a chance to do something? Isn't this time that Tiki Barber gets a chance to do something? Isn't this time that Carl comes out of the booth and helps turn this franchise around? Like, isn't there like someone to step in and right this ship that knows about Giants football? Look, Coughlin came here and it was like, look, I'm going to do anything possible to turn around this franchise that I know and love. And, under Parcells, like, I just feel like we're lost.
Somebody was sitting in the game who loves the job. Well, you know what? Hey, look, Craig, if that's what you want, then why not Ray Agnew? He played for us. And he's a former player. He's everything that you just listed.
I mean,
and James in the chat brought up, and we've talked about him before, Antonio Pierce, get him on the defensive staff, right? Like, I don't think some of these guys want to come back. Like, Banks doesn't want anything to do with it.
But again, I think
I don't know who else.
Sean, are just, again, the media dollars pushes.
That's what I'm saying. So like Tiki would be a good one too, but he's getting the media dollars. He's not come back and do it. Like I would love Antrell Roll, but I don't know if anybody's reached out. I don't know if he even wants to coach. There's guys out there that we could. Blackburn's a good one because he was coaching in the NFL. And is he still this year? Yeah.
Brandon Jacobs said he would come back and he would love to be an assistant coach for the Giants, but he says he doesn't have like good relations, I guess, with people in the building. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm just talking about even if it's not a Giants guy. Okay, let's remove the Giants, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like what John Lynch has done is pretty damn impressive, right? Some of these guys, I don't know. Again, we laugh about it, but like I don't know if I need any more Wonder Boys. I'd like to just have someone that, like, I love Christian's picks because they're player personnel guys. Like they're not depending on someone else. Like just someone who knows the game can look at a guy and say, this guy has the it factor. You know what I mean? Like this guy can, help our team. I just don't know if we have enough football guys. We all thought Daves was a football guy, but I don't know. Was he? I don't know. I'm just, again, John Lynch and Vrabel, these guys have played in Super Bowls, right? I mean, the Lions right now have a defensive coordinator who was our ex-linebacker, who was a part-time player, and he's out there working with the Lions and making their defense better. Like, sometimes I think we just need to find more football guys.
It's a good point.
Agreed.
I mean, do I have any off the top of my head? Personally, I don't. But I do think that we do need more football guys in this building. I'm kind of like in the middle where it's like I would like someone that's established, but I also don't want to not keep an open mind to someone who would be listed as a boy wonder per se, but gives this team an opportunity to be successful. I mean, because you do have guys. I don't think there's going to be anybody in this head coaching search that's going to be like a Ben Johnson, per se. But I do like that a lot of the candidates are defensive focused, because that's the Giants' biggest issue right now. So
who's the D'Amico Ryans? We talk about Ben Johnson, but who's the D'Amico Ryans? I think Chris Shula's a D'Amico Ryans.
Shula's probably the best bet of almost being like, that defensive version of Ben Johnson. Like that might be your best bet.
Sure.
Matt Burke from the Texans is not getting talked about enough. What he's doing with that Texans defense, we saw on national TV what he did last night to that Chiefs offense. Like that's a guy to talk about, right? Like coming from that tree. I mean, we have guys on staff, at least on the coaching staff, that played in the NFL. Our two secondary coaches both played in the NFL, right? So you got other guys, but we do need more. We had Charles Way at one point. He's on what he's doing now.
Yeah, he was a front office guy.
Yeah, so I mean, we need football guys for sure. It's just, are they out there and do they want to? And who's making that decision to bring in football guys? That's the question. I'm just saying,
John Lynch came out of nowhere, dude. Like, just came out of nowhere and hit the ground running. Like, so, like you said,
does Mara not want football guys in there? Does he not want former players? What I'm saying? Like, we don't know. Those are the questions that have to start being asked.
Yeah. It also creates an awkward situation. Like, if they have to fire them because there's a bad performance, then it ruins the great vibes that they have living in the memories of like the Super Bowl run. So I feel like there's sometimes perhaps a conflict of interest with those things.
Yeah, and I just want to say something really quick before we continue, because Sean said something that really spoke to me just now. He said, those are the questions that need to be asked. So I'm going to say this because we did not announce this when the stream started. Please drop your questions in the chat, because at the end of the show, we will be answering them on one last drive. I've been seeing some really good questions in the chat so far, and we appreciate everybody stopping by. So just want to drop that.
100%. We try to answer every week. We're on here answering as many questions as we can. So we do appreciate you guys doing that. And Bradley mentions about Sneeze in the front office as a scout, right? Like, again, I'm just looking for. I mean, because it's a big deal who this coach is and who this GM is. But like, I don't know. I'm envious of guys who just seem like they know what they're doing right away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, can't we just find a guy that knows what he's doing? Why are the Giants like all the guinea pigs all the time for these guys? Like, I don't know. I guess there just comes to a point where something has to change to make this team better. We can't just continue to do the same thing. So, like, I mean, Spartan, are you okay with McCarthy? I thought I saw you tweet out that you're okay with McCarthy.
Yeah, I'm okay with McCarthy. And is it the hire that I sit there and be like, well, this is the Ben Johnson type hire? It's not. And I do think that the concern of he's been working with nothing but teams that were loaded with talent, I do think it's valid, because we could find out the hard way that was the case. However, we do have talent on the Giants that he can work with, including a quarterback. So that's where the fear, like if he was taking over a team that had no core like the Saints, yeah, he's probably not going to be very successful, but no coach really will be with that quarterback situation. But the thing I like about McCarthy is, and there's problems with him, there's definitely downsides. He's had a track record of winning, but also, and this is, where Sean agrees with me, at least agrees with this point, the coordinators that he puts in place, he puts together phenomenal staffs every time. And we got to think that things that have been holding the Giants back have not just been the head coaches, it's been the coordinators. We've had crappy coordinators left and right, both sides of the ball for the last 10 years, except for, Spags for a little stint. Graham was okay, but then that's it. Other than that, complete crap. And so if
Perry
McCarthy
Fuel wasn't
coordinators, then
Perry
let's
Fuel
go.
wasn't terrible. He did win a he did win a Super Bowl.
He
won a
did.
That
Super
was the
Bowl.
only good game
You
he
know what?
coached.
He replaced. All right, this is way off topic. The worst defensive coordinator we've ever had
Bill Sheridan.
is not Bowen. It's
Yeah.
Bill Sheridan, because that dude had
Absolutely.
all the Pro Bowlers from the 2008 team, and he takes it over, and it was like the worst defense in the NFL for 1 year before we got Fuel in. Like, that was the worst defensive coordinator job ever.
And
So
then
that's
Fuel
why I
was
like
gone the year
McCarthy.
after the Super Bowl.
We need a good staff. He knows how to win. He's got a quarterback
Agreed.
to do it. I advocate for it. However, I'm not like, I don't care who the Giants actually get as long as they start winning. Like, if you don't get my guy and you start winning, oh, okay, fine.
So,
let's
you know
let's
what?
roll.
You know what, Spartan? Someone said to me, a non-Giants fan said this to me. Their opinion of the Giants is that they hire guys and they walk in and go, everybody now is doing it my way. And everyone has to pivot to this individual's way instead of a guy coming in here and going, hey, you know what? We're going to mix this up with my way, your way, and the way these players are. Instead, every time they hire a guy, it's this: stop the world. We don't care what the 7,500-year history of the Giants. You're doing it my way.
Yeah,
And
that's funny. You know, I never really thought about that, but now thinking,
never
yeah,
did.
if Judge kind of came in here and did that, like, hey, this is my show now, and it's like, all right, you just found us a new way to win 5 games a year, and
Yep.
you know, I suppose Dable did too, as opposed to what you're saying. Like, look around and be like, all right, we got this, this, and this. Here's how we're going to take the ingredients we have and make a good meal. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Well, yeah. Well, think about it. Look, I'm not defending Jones at all, but like Dable, they re-signed him after the 2022 season. They should have done everything possible to make an offense that worked for Jones's skill set. They didn't. And then he goes and you see Dart step in and like, oh yeah, well that works, right? Because Dart can run Dable's offense. Like, we're always constantly being like, no, you do it this way. You got to have a guy that understands his talent, right? I mean, how
That's
many
fine,
times-
but I'm glad they did that way because now we have Dart. So
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
happy they
Yes,
did that way.
of a
Yeah,
terrible
like, I'm
GM
not-
head coach coordination. That's
We
the
get-
greatest gift that they could have possibly left.
Absolutely.
The only reason why I sit
Absolutely.
here and I'm like, you know what? Thanks for keeping them around another year, Mary. You have 2 more wins, 2 wins. But we'll take the quarterback, because let's be real. If
Yeah.
we moved on, I bet you we don't go quarterback this past year.
Well, I mean, there's just so many things when you look at this team, you're like, they're too stubborn. Like I said, like I've come to this point. Sean and I talked about this last week. We've come to this point that like Newbin is closer to Landon Collins as a box safety than he is Troy Polamalu or some ball hawking safety. So he's either used wrong or realized that his skill set in college is not the same skill set he has in the pros. So use him to the best of his ability. Instead, where is he? Nowhere. We don't know what he is. He's not a downhill safety, box safety making 10 tackles a game, and he's definitely not picking off 9 balls a year. So what do? We just go like this. I don't know what they are.
Well,
You think
when you have a defense coordinator like Shane Bowen, I mean, Newman's ball hawking skills in college translates to the NFL. I mean,
But it
he
ain't
broke,
happening.
he broke the answer. Yeah, well, look at who he had as a defensive coordinator. That's why it's not happening. Like,
But I'm saying,
I'm not going to, and I said this to Spartan off air. I'm not judging anybody in that defense side of the ball outside of Banks because of what we had with Shane Bowen. Like, until we get a real football guy in there, a real defense coordinator, I'm not saying anybody's a bust or anybody sucks or what. You're right. Bowen didn't know how to utilize Newman. He didn't know how to utilize Abdul Carter. He didn't know how to get all those guys on the field at the same time. He had weapons galore to utilize, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. The number one thing we need to get is guys that know how to coach, guys that know how to develop, guys that know how to hire assistants, guys that don't do that, because there is talent on this roster. I don't care what anybody, not you guys, I don't care what anybody else says. There is talent on this roster. Coaching is a big friggin' deal, friggin' deal.
And you're in your lock and step with me because the next Giants coordinator that comes in has to go, wow, I got all these tools. What can I do it to make them great? Instead of this, hey, you no longer play over the nose. You now play over the guard. Oh, you know what? We're gonna run 2 high instead of the 3. Like, we need a guy to come in and go, okay, let's evaluate what each one of these guys does well, and I'm going to create a defense around what makes them great.
Yep.
I agree
Absolutely.
1,000%.
I'll tell you flat out, if the next guy that comes in can't figure out, like Burns had a great year, right? Probably the best year of his career. Probably he's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but he'll be top 3, top 4, right? In running for it.
Yep.
He can't skip a beat next year. The new guy's got to come in and go like this. I'm not changing a damn thing that you do. You do exactly what you do. I'll fix everything else. You don't change a thing.
I agree.
But this is the Giants hire guys that want to change everything.
I mean, I think, again, everything that you guys are talking about, it's valid, but I hear all of this. And again, the one person that comes to my mind is Chris Shula. I mean, again, we've had this conversation off air, but like, you look at Emmanuel Forbes, who was chastised out of Washington. Everyone's talking about his size, how he's not physical, he needs to put on weight, he's not good man-to-man, he struggles in zone, and he's doing very well over there in Los Angeles. I mean, he has really turned around his career. Now, I want to also give the player credit as well for putting in the work, but the fact that they were able to maximize his tool set, and he's an effective part of their defense, to me really says a lot. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be the same situation with Deontay Banks or even guys like Drew Phillips, who I'm still high on, but I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. But they were able to take what was quote unquote trash from another team and turn it into gold for them. And again, I like you said, Craig, I mean, they need to bring someone in here that can look at these pieces, whether it's offensively or defensively, and say, hey, I need to maximize your abilities and not limit your abilities, because we've spoken about this off air. There is no reason why you're moving Dexter Lawrence out of the nose tackle position. None whatsoever. And it's not a surprise to me that he's not having the standard year that we're used to seeing from Dexter Lawrence, but the numbers back it up what we're seeing. They really are. So I agree 1,000% with you, Craig. It's frustrating.
See, he's making up for earlier now. He told you he was going to let you talk. Now he's back in your bandwagon. See what he's doing
right
now?
there.
See?
That's my guy. Cruz is my guy. You knew that.
There you go. Spartan, what do you got for us, man? Come on, let's go. What you got for us here?
With
your thoughts or the next topic? Yeah, you're running things here. Come on.
Go, man.
Well, guys, we brought 5 subjects to the table, and we're on subject 1 still. So
yeah,
all right, let's go.
Actually, not really. No, looking at how we have it written down,
we moved on.
Number 1 yet.
Yeah, Craig, honestly, I was like, oh, Craig's not here. We're going to plow through this stuff. I actually make this slower than any episode in human history. So, Craig, I'll hand it back to you, but we're going to talk GM, head coach. We already kind of talked about the head coach a little bit. First, here's one. This one could be a little bit more round fire. Craig, would you like the Giants at this point to just lose out so they can get the first round pick? Or would you like them to win as many games as possible? What are your thoughts?
I don't know if I can say this word. I can, but I hate soft people. So you win as many games as you can. I don't play that game. Never going to play that game. You don't tank in the NFL. Why? Because the guy next to you is trying to get a contract. He's playing for incentives. You don't tank.
I'm not saying the players tank, but would you rather just see us lose? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about the players, what they're doing. Just like, would you rather us just lose?
No, because it shouldn't matter between the first pick, the second pick, the third pick. If you have a smart football guy, you get who you need. We don't need a quarterback. We need a wide receiver. We need a cornerback. We need a middle linebacker. We need a guard. I don't care how you do it, dude. Just do it. This is what people don't understand. Howie Roseman will draft between 28, 29, 30, or 31 and still get the exact player he needs to make the team better. All this other shit, Spartan, it's all crap. Because the best guys, right, every year, whether it's Chiefs, whether it's the Seahawks, whether it's the Eagles, whoever it is, Spartan, they literally draft at the back of the draft and find the best players. We draft at the front of the draft and we can't find the best players. Yeah. So does it really matter if you win or lose? We can bitch and complain and we could have just beat Washington 2 years ago. Dude, the best teams get the players that produce on the field. But we're over here because we're losers. We just want to complain. Oh, if we had just lost out. Forget it. Just draft the guy.
Mhm.
You know, right now, Sean and I talked about it last week. Whether you bring back Wan'Dale Robinson or not, you're needed a number 2. Slayton's not it. He's got a $12 million cap number. I think, and I don't know if it was me and Elliot or Cole. We were talking about during the week. I don't care what you do. You're packaging Slayton up, and you're going to go get a middle linebacker, or you're going to go get a guard. He can't be on this team next year, right? Like that's it. Like there's no playing around. He cannot be on this team next year. I don't care if you eat the money. I don't care if you get another team to take the money, but that's just what has to be done. So no, Spartan. I don't want to lose out. I'm tired of a loser mentality. I'm tired of complaining. So look, win as many games, let guys earn contracts, let guys learn incentives, and still go get you know what the best thing the Giants ever did? Move up and get Dart. Someone grew a set of balls and moved up and got Dart. Whether it was Dave's going like this, do not, Joe Shane, do not leave that first round without getting my guy. And finally, whether it was Dave's or whoever it was, they went and finally showed. You guys don't want to admit it, or maybe you guys will, but that was some ballsy move because it's not the way the Giants do business.
I mean, what would we lose out of that? A second round pick?
Last time we made a move like that was 2004 with Eli Manning.
Yeah.
It was a great trade up. I give Joe Shane some credit for that.
So we need
Chris,
to
want to hear you. What about you? Do you just not care about the wins, or are the wins important to you? Would you rather have a higher pick, or do you not care about the pick?
I mean, I definitely feel a lot better when this team wins, for sure. But I'm never going to go out and say, you know, I want this team to lose or I want this team to tank. But I don't think it really matters what I think, because I don't see until this team can keep a fucking lead. I don't think it really matters, because we've seen this team have leads throughout the year, and we're thinking that we're going to win this game, and they completely blow it. I tell this story where, like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was watching the game with the lady that I take care of, and she's a Cowboys fan. I live out here in Dallas. And, you know, I'm watching the game, and she's like, wow, you guys are going to win today. And I said, Stephanie, you're not a Giants fan. You don't know how this works. We're not safe. And lo and behold, it was the Detroit Lions game. And lo and behold, we lose. So it's like, for me, as much as I want them to go out there and win and be competitive, I don't think it matters until this team can go out there and show that they're winners, until this team could go out there and, you know, prove to me and this fan base that they give a damn. I don't think it really matters. I mean, I could see them winning 2 out of winning 2 games, losing 2 games. I could see them losing all of the games. For me, it's just a matter of, I'm at a point where if we had the technology, I would just fast forward to the draft, fast forward to the offseason, because this season has been, I mean, I'm getting white hairs. There's no reason why at 29 years old, I should be getting white hairs from this damn football team. But every week it seems like I find a new one in my beard, or I find a new one in my hair, and it's because of this team. So
that's what this team does. Craig's beard was black when I started here, and this is 2021. Sean, what about you, man? Are you feeling you not care about the pick? You not care about the wins? Which one would you prefer at this point?
I'll say a couple different things. I'll say this. Number one, I want them to beat the Cowboys. I always want them to beat the Clown Boys. Like, I don't care. Secondly, what I don't want to happen is they lose their next 3 and they have the number 1 pick and they go out and win the last game of the year. Like, that would just be the Giants
that week.
I don't know who it is.
Wait, it is Dallas. Isn't it Dallas?
It is Dallas.
Is Dallas last game of the season?
Yeah.
All right, then that's fine. Then that's fine. I'll take that back. But here's the other thing I want to say real quick about this. Okay, we're talking about the number 1 pick. This same time last year, we had the number 1 pick. That's 2 years in a row. There's no way your GM can survive when you have the number 1 pick at this point in the season 2 years in a row. Yeah. There's just no way.
Especially by
I'm not going to root for losses. I'm not about culture wins. I'm talking as a fan. I want to see my team win. Like, I get if we have the number 1 pick, maybe we can get a haul, blah, blah, blah. Craig makes a good point. Just draft the guys, do what you got to do. Right. We have no idea. We don't know that somebody's going to trade up and give us a haul.
Right.
Because the quarterback class, right. Yeah, the quarterback class, other than Mendoza, there ain't nobody to trade up and give up a haul for. Like, so we can't assume. I'm never going to root for losses. That's not how I'm built with this team. I'll never root for losses. Will I be disappointed if they lose? No, because we're 2-11. So at this point, I mean, I say that, but then come next week if they lose, I'll be pissed off on the show, no doubt about it. But
Well, if
you
we
know,
lose to
you know
Marcus
my point.
Mariota, I might lose my mind. I'm not even gonna
I
lie.
mean,
Yeah,
get ready.
we got to catch a win.
Get ready for it. Get ready for it.
I
Get
don't
ready
know
for
what
it.
to say.
And before you go,
Did you
Spartan,
just put that in the thing that Craig
What?
makes a good point? Did Craig just put his own header up?
I didn't
Hey.
make
Stop
that.
the presses.
Hey.
Stop the presses. Craig made a
Look,
good
It's,
point.
it's the producer in the back.
we all know this
That's
much,
great.
right?
Yeah.
And there have been years where this has irked me. This might be one of those years where it does too. We know, I'm sorry, John. I know you're dealing with what you're dealing with, but we know that John Mara loves those victory morales, those wins that he thinks carries over to the next season for the culture. So that's why I'm saying I would not be shocked if, like you guys said, by week 18, we have the first overall pick, and they're just like, you know what? We're going to play our best game of the year. We're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And then we go from like 1 to 5. Like, I could see it.
And then that's the game that brings everybody back. Like, that's the game that, like, makes Shane survive his job or something.
I'm worried
Like,
about that.
I'm
but-
more worried about that than the draft because
Agreed, but it is the Cowboys. I'll never be upset when us beating the Cowboys.
And also, we haven't beaten them in 5 years, so I would really like to beat them once within the 2020s decade. I mean, good Lord.
I understand the question.
But look, my general feeling is this. Last year when we were QB needy and there were 2 viable options at the time, I felt like, I'd rather just lose at this point, and then let's get a quarterback and go into next year. Obviously, turn out not to matter, but a couple things. With the quarterback not really being a factor, I don't really care about the draft position right now. Even when we have good draft position, we've gotten burned so many times, I don't care. What I really want to see right now with this team is I want to see Dark get some wins. I want to see some wins for the dude. Not because it's like my make or break decision on him. He's a very good quarterback. Right. But I just want him to have those wins under his belt so he can build on the confidence going to next year. So that to me is most important. If we get the 5th pick, we'll be fine. BPA, we don't need a quarterback. If somebody trades up to that spot, great. It's probably not likely given the quarterbacks to be taken. But I just don't really care. We've been burned so many times in the first round of the draft. I don't really care what they're doing with the picks because to your point, Craig, these other good teams are able to do it with later picks. So I don't care anymore.
Let's have a little fun here, guys. Ready? I'm going to throw names at you. The Giants have 26 free agents. 26 going into 2026.
6-7, I thought, no?
What is it?
6-7?
I miscounted.
Yeah, maybe I'm off by 1. But I'm going to give you the name. You just say sign him or no sign him.
Let's do it.
Super easy. All right. Some of these are no-brainers, but we're going to do it anyway. Christian.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
I'll pack his bags for him. He can go.
Spartan, Eluemunor.
Oh, he's got to stay. He of anybody is the number 1 person that has to stay. I am not going back to an unstable offensive line. In fact, Shane should sign him right now, and that should be his last move.
I like your thought. I like it. So Russ is no, and Eluemunor is a yes. Would we all agree on that? Are we all in agreement there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I could put in $5, I would.
I love it. All right. Sean, Evan Neal.
No.
Boys, we're all lock and step on that one, right?
It's been a pleasure having you, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to say adios, my friend.
I'll even take it a step further. I say Burger King. That's what I say.
Flip them burgers.
Wait, doesn't he have his 5th-year option still?
They didn't pick it up.
No.
Did they not pick? Okay, so he'll be gone. Okay.
Now I don't know the rule if you can still pick it up or there's a cutoff date. I'm assuming there's a cutoff date.
Yeah, I can't remember. Okay.
All right. Spartan, Nacho.
No, we need an upgrade at that defensive tackle position. I'm just done with. I'm done.
We love Nacho though.
I do like him. He does
Nacho.
actually make some decent plays every now and then, but we
love
need to
Nacho.
be consistent. We need to emphasize a run stop or two. But I just feel like I get used to liking these dudes and how they act with the media, and I do like Nacho as a person, but let's upgrade.
But Spartan, you know what Nacho says.
Tune in to Giants Rush every Monday, baby. Rush every Monday, baby. Rush every Monday, baby.
I messed up. He should come back right now. Top dollar contract, baby.
Chris,
How the hell could you let me say that, Craig? You should have cut my mic.
He set you up.
It's called setting you up.
Damn it.
Set you up.
Chris, Nacho?
I'm kind of torn because it's like I would bring him back just for depth purposes, but still attacking that position. But for me, I mean, I don't think it does anything, honestly. So I have no problems if he goes. Love that he's a fan of the show, but I would have no issues if they look elsewhere.
Sean, I need to know your opinion on Van Roten.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring him back. I'm not splitting up that line. And he's our backup center.
That, by the way, is probably what will keep him here, by the way.
Yep.
Like, if he was just the guard, he probably would go, but knowing he also snaps and he's nasty, got a little mean streak in him, I think serves him well to come back for depth. Okay, let's get some of these bigger ones. They're starting to pop now. Christian Wandale.
I'm kind of torn. I think it comes down to what is he going to ask for, considering that the wide receiver market, in terms of
he's going to want what Slayton's got. It's going to have to be 12 to 14.
I think it might be more. I think it might be more, man.
At a minimum, it's going to be at least 12 to 14.
It's going to be hard, but fuck it. I'm going to say resign him. I'm going to say resign him because I'm all for shipping Darius Slayton out of here and taking a receiver in the first round. I like Wandale. He's exceeded my expectations. He's someone that I think has become a reliable target for Jackson Dart. And he's someone who, I would like to see him in a Rams or 49ers-esque offense. Resign Wandale.
Spartan, you want Wandale?
I can go either way with him. If we can find a way to get rid of Slayton, just get off that stupid contract, then that'd be fine. But I am actually going to say I'm leaning towards not, to be honest with you.
Okay, so we're split there. Sean, no brainer. Casey Kreider.
Yeah.
Just snap him. Nope. Right.
Yeah.
I noticed I'm going to double down here. Sean, Manhurts.
No, you can let him go.
Christian, I know you and I are always lock and step on the tight ends. You want Manhurts to come back? Seems like a wasted roster space to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's a wasted roster space at this point. I wouldn't be shocked if they took a tight end fairly early in the draft. I'm not saying first, second, or third round, but I can see the fourth or fifth. But yeah, for me, I don't. Outside of blocking, he serves no purpose. So.
Christian doubling down on Slotman, which is technically the backup center.
He can go. I'm good. Same with Greg Van Roten. If he has that flexibility, re-sign Van Roten, move Slotman out of you.
Slotman's done well though. I wouldn't be too quick to move on from him. He's done really well when he came in.
Van Roten or Slotman?
Slotman.
But I think
they actually did really well.
And he would probably sit in free agency. So it's like if they do need to add some more resources, they can give him a quick call and be like, hey, you want to come off the couch and have a roster spot?
Right. I can't even pronounce Victor's last name. He's like a backup edge rusher for us. He gets no time. Yeah, like anybody care?
He could go. Sorry, it's just how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Serious.
If he plays, he can play well, but he's been injured.
All right, Spartan, Aaron Stinney, which is the backup to again, you need depth. You do need depth. And he backs up Runyon.
Yeah, I mean, he's a depth piece. We haven't really had to see him go in, thank God. But you know what? I actually like when there's a little bit of continuity with the depth pieces. So yes to him, yes to Slotman too, actually.
Okay.
Smart man.
Christian, you cool with Stinney, or you just again, these guys are depth pieces and they're only getting paid $1.3 million. I mean, how much more?
Gonna get rid of everybody.
No, I mean, but that $1.3 million does add up. So I mean, and I just feel like whoever comes in is going to want to get some of their guys from their respective franchise. So I'd like to give them some free reign. I would be okay letting Stinney walk just due to the fact that Hey, I mean,
He's letting our lineman walk, or backup O lineman walk. Shocker.
excuse me, our backup to the backups. My bad.
Dang.
You know,
The
if
boys are getting after it.
if we have a guy that's worth a damn, unlike Joe Shane, he should be able to replace those guys fairly easy. But
That's all right. At least you weren't Spartan and letting Nacho go, who's a friend of the show.
Spartan, were they jousting?
We have
before
let people go that have been literally on this show, so let's not act like it's anything for us to get rid of. Say something bad about a guy that Craig had to pay $25.
We haven't said it though.
Target to say something nice about us. I'm kidding.
Seriously. All right, let's keep rolling here. Spartan, Cordell Flott.
You know what? I would take him back.
Oh, good.
Just because he's coming around. It really is frustrating with the Giants players. They do develop. It just takes them 4 years to do it. So it's contract year. You're finally on the fence of being developed. Bring him back. I like cornerbacks. I like keeping the corners in-house if we can. Deontay Banks has to go. With the Giants' first-round pick, I really do it. Even if we kept Fly, I really, really, really did wish there was a stud corner available. It's probably not the case. That's fine, though.
And I know, Sean, I don't even have to ask you. I know you're a big Flott guy, so you want him back.
Yeah, he was like top 10 in the NFL for DBs this season, and he's still young. He's only 24.
All right, our favorite and the most the newest player, or new member of the Let Me Embarrass myself a New Way. Our kicker, Yo Kung Koo, with kicking the ground. Does anybody here have any allegiance to this moron? Come on.
I mean, I'm good bringing in a new hoe. I think that's more than fine with me.
Not a young hoe.
No. Maybe a little bit older this time.
That's right. We need more seasoned hoes around here, Craig.
Exactly. Some that can actually kick the ball.
The one thing I will say though, and you've had other special teams people saying this, is that ball did move and that did throw him off.
We're not really gonna defend him kicking the ground, are we?
I didn't defend it.
Hey, guys,
what other people said.
Hold up. I will say this: that was an extremely embarrassing moment. But they got to make sure whatever kicker they bring in next is consistently better than Ko, who had the biggest brain fart I've ever seen in the entire planet. But does he consistently do that? No, it's a mixed bag. He was a decent kicker for a while. So just look, they
draft a kicker. There's a lot of good kickers.
See, there's a billion kickers out there that are probably NFL caliber or could have been even better than a lot of the ones in the league that the opportunity didn't line up. The margin for error for when you get your opportunity and the availability of kickers it's very slim. And I had a gym teacher. In middle school. He is the all-time, and maybe not anymore, who's the all-time Big Ten leading point scorer, Kevin Kelly, the kicker for Penn State. I think 2000, it was late 2000s, won a Rose Bowl and everything. But, there's no opportunity that year in 2009 when he was, went to the NFL for a kicker. He got to work out for a team that already had one. That was it. There you go.
It happens, man.
All right, let's move on to
just thought I'd throw that cool story out there.
That was a cool story.
It was, but
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, we all had gym teachers. Where's this going?
Yeah. And then you're like, I never had
we all had
leading Big Ten score and gym teacher, right?
Dude,
so I just wanted to
set up on that one.
I'm only here, guys, once every month now with all this licensing I'm doing. So I have to get all the cool stories out in one shot.
I was going to double down on it, but I was let Spartan have a moment in the sun because if you guys remember, dating myself, Eric Schubert, who kicked 6 field goals in one game for the Giants, lived in my town, and they literally, he was bagging groceries, and they called him in, and he kicked 6 field goals in one game, like they made a statue of him in my town.
Wow,
that's dope.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. How about Mr. Cracked Helmet, Gunner? Anybody want to bring Gunner back? Chris, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I would bring Gunner back. I think that he's been fairly reliable on special teams. But I think also when he has his opportunities on offense, maybe not as a starter, but in terms of a backup, he's shown that, he could be somewhat reliable. He's looked better than guys like Hyatt, He's looked, which that's not saying much, but I think that in terms of, I mean, if we're talking about having guys that are reliable on this team, I mean, he's one of them. He's consistent, which we don't have a lot of players on this team that we could say that about. And I think he's a better returner than Amir Smith-Marset. That's just me. So I would keep Gunner. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually like. They were both pretty nice returners. I do think Gunner's a little bit more shifty, and he doubles down as a quarterback, and he doubles as a wide receiver.
That's right.
He's faster. Yeah.
All right, Spartan. I'm going to start with you on this one, and then I'm going to come to you, Chris, because I know what your answer is. This is setting you up for success on this because I have to cut Sean out of this this pick. But
Sure.
First, start with you, Spartan. Do you want to bring back Daniel Bellinger?
I honestly this one's frustrating because I genuinely feel like the dude has not been given a fair shake at really any point. And I think that you can use him like a Kevin Boss guy. His hands are generally pretty good. All the last couple of games kind of been, so-and-so. There's so much missed opportunity here that if it's for the right price, I'm all for them bringing him back. And, you get another good tight end and you can layer him a little bit. But that's why I genuinely lean towards yes. But, at the same time, I'm not I'm not ignoring the fact that he won't probably develop into a star. I just feel like he could be better used.
Christian, I'm bringing this one to you because our starting tight end drops 2-3 balls a game. We can't rely on him for a lot. So why not bring back a guy who catches everything thrown at him and has yak and is way more reliable than the starting tight end? And then maybe those guys can get, some more, maybe Bellinger could get more reps and develop into a better pass catching tight end.
Yeah. Me personally, I would bring back Daniel Bellinger. I think that he's consistent when he is given those opportunities. He's someone who, kind of like what Spartan was saying. I feel like he hasn't been given a fair shot. It feels like ever since they drafted him, they have looked to replace him, whether it's with Darren Waller, whether it's with Theo Johnson, who Sean's been rubbing off on me a little bit, where I've been a little bit more patient with Theo Johnson, even though I'm not going to lie, there are moments where I'm like, okay, we got something here. And then there's other moments where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to Sean. I want this guy off of my damn roster.
Right there.
Sean loves inconsistent players. He loves them.
I can't
Really?
fault
Like,
him. I can't.
Like
Who
Theo
else?
Johnson, the guy we're talking about right now.
Second-year player. Hasn't
I
even been
can't
2
really
years
think of
in
any
the
other
league.
player, to be honest with you.
I'm going to remain patient
That's
with
funny,
Theo,
though. That was a good one.
but I think Daniel Bellinger, I would re-sign him. But to Mike's point, Spartan Mike's point, he could be a player that he goes to another organization and he turns out to be who we thought he could be here and just didn't work out here. That's the story of the New York Giants. We all know this.
Do I get the answer? Do I get the
No,
answer?
you
to this
don't.
question?
But your player's Dane Belton. Sign him or not?
All right, first of all, I would bring Bellinger back, and him and Theo would be a nice 1-2. So yes. And as far as Dane Belton, it depends on the price with him. Again, friend of the show, we like him there. He's been playing. If he's in the price range, he's good depth piece. He's special teams, great on special teams.
He
so
really
yeah,
is good at special teams.
yeah. So if the price is right, absolutely.
Spartan, this one is like just such a thorn in everybody's side because you've said it, I've said it, Sean has said it, Christian has said it, Chris Rosa has said it, Truth has said it. I think every person we know has said it. But Spartan, should they bring Isaiah Hodgins back?
Yeah.
Just yep.
Yeah, they should bring it back. He should have never left.
That's what I was looking for. Sean, Hodgins?
Yeah. I mean, if that new coach is going to utilize him and he fits in the offense,
We don't really need to talk about Zahari Barnes because
Zaire.
sorry.
Created my characters. Like, what's going on?
Zaire's he's played pretty well, actually.
Yeah, but you want to resign him?
again, we need depth. We need things there. I don't know who else. Who else do we have for backup linebackers?
There's better
at this
play. I'm
point?
sure there's better players in the league than this guy.
It depends who else. Right. I'm not saying we have to bring him back. I'm just saying he's done pretty well, actually. And Flanagan Foles has done pretty well too until he got injured.
Hold on, before you go, Craig, can I say something real quick?
Please.
I'm gonna highlight Cole's comment here. He says, "Leave it to Christian, and we'll have 10 people left on this roster." I bet you they'll be the best 10 damn people. I'll tell you that much.
And they won't be O-linemen.
Exactly.
Hey.
We're gonna get rid of O-line, but we're gonna keep Gunnar Olszewski.
I'm gonna just tell him, listen, hike, stop.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
All right, go.
I'm with you, Christian. I'm with you. All right, Christian, Micah McFadden.
Yeah, I would resign him. I'm a little hesitant only because how is he going to come back from this injury? But I do think that does play a little bit in the Giants' favor. I think that kind of brings the cost down a little bit. I think the defense has missed Micah McFadden a lot. We have had some very bad, in my opinion at least, very bad linebacker play this year. And I think it's just really shown that you don't know what you have until it's gone. So I'd like to bring Micah McFadden back, and I would like to address the linebacker position fairly early. I'm kind of warming up to Arvell Reeves a little bit, but give me Jordan Tyson. But hey, that's for another show.
We talked about it last week that we can't really see Bobby coming back and moving.
I don't see it either.
Giving the dot to McFadden, slide him over in a carrot cake spot and draft one in the 3rd round and let those two guys go to battle together. Spartan, you want McFadden back?
I'd bring him back for a cheap two-year deal.
I don't know what cheap means because, like I said, the thing unique about McFadden, and we catch a lot of heat. We do like him. He is a friend of the show. But the two things that Christian just mentioned is spot on. One is he proved that you missed him, like by not being there. Like they fell apart completely. They couldn't stop the run. And then when he was in there, he has back-to-back 100 tackle seasons. And anyone who said that's not a big deal, well, then why hasn't it been done in 18 years? Okay. He's the first guy to do it in 18 years since Antonio Pierce. Am I saying he's a Pro Bowl player? No. But he's a glue guy, right? And he does the job. Can he get better? A defensive coordinator is going to do wonders for Michael McFadden. Right.
I think the first few weeks to see this year too showed like he really improved on the tackling issues. He still got a little ways to go, but that used to be his big issue. But I think we can't ignore the injury thing. So that's why I'm saying like 2 years, because I don't want him just to come back on a prove it one. I want to be like, hey, you've done a lot for us. So here's 2-year contract. That gives you a little time to recover and also prove yourself, and then you can get a bigger one after that.
And I just don't know. I don't think he'll be expensive. I'm sure there's a hometown discount in there somewhere. But I know he's not going to come like free agent minimum kind of deal. Like that isn't going to happen.
Probably not.
I know the answer to this one probably, Sean. DJ Davidson, though there is some depth there and he is relatively cheap. Any thoughts on Davidson?
Either way, I'm good with it. Whether he goes or stays, I'm fine with it.
Christian,
really
Davidson?
No, I'm good. Me personally, I'm good. I do think that the defensive tackle room needs to be fully revamped.
What does that mean? You're good, meaning you want him to
go?
Oh
no. I wouldn't resign him. I would
okay.
not resign him.
Oh, shocker! It's like 2 guys you've tried to resign. Is that right?
We're
doing our numbers
when
right.
You look at the list of the guys, I mean, there's not a lot of guys worth bringing back.
Damn, dude.
There's not. There's
we
not
ain't
a
gonna
lot
be able
of
to
guys
fill all those. We ain't gonna be able to fill all those.
Christian, what you're trying to say is team really sucks, and because we're probably not talented, so let's face the facts. So let's let these guys walk and replace them with people that are talented, so we can win. Is that what you're getting at?
When you have a general manager who has missed more than he's hit, we need to revamp this defensive line room. It can't just all be on Dexter Lawrence.
Well, it's all good. Sean promised me that Chancey Golston was going to be a 5-year All-Pro. And
he comes here and he comes here and gets injured. What the heck?
Oh, yeah. He got injured after he wasn't doing anything. What did he do?
He got injured in the preseason.
Sean, talk to me about Nick Jones. Talk to me about Nick Jones, Sean.
Yeah, he's a good depth piece. He can play multiple positions. Bring him back for the right price. Absolutely.
Spartan, Bryce Ford Wheaton.
I forgot he was even on the roster still.
Too many
Christian,
injuries.
You want Bryce Ford Wheaton?
You already know my answer. Let's get to the next person.
We
thought you like bringing receivers back.
Oh,
when they're on
man.
the field, yeah, and they're consistent. But like Spartan just said, I'm gonna be honest with you. He said that, and it's like my frontal lobe like opened. I completely forgot that he was on this roster.
Yeah.
Last
Injury.
guy, Christian, is Art Green. You want Art Green back?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Sean,
you
you
can
want
find
Art
you
Green
can find
back?
a dozen Art
I-
Greens.
I agree with Christian. I'm good. He can go.
So I will tell you that if I tally up the no's, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's almost 12 no's out of the 27. So it's
That's
it's
not
almost
bad.
50-50.
It's not bad. You can
No.
replace those guys
I
to the
mean-
draft and other things. It's fine.
By the,
Listen, this
by the
team
way,
is
I
more
just wanted to-
talented. This roster's more talented than a 2-win team. Is it a perfect roster? No. Do we need to add pieces? Yes. But it is a more talented roster than 2 wins. But because we only have 2 wins, the thing is always going to be, there's no talent on this roster. Again, our defensive coordinator lost us 5 games. Like, let's be realistic.
I mean,
So,
and
yeah.
the thing is with that list, not a lot of them are starters. They're
Right.
players that are replaceable, and they're guys that, if we're being honest, most of those guys we could replace in one offseason. So
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
we're not talking like starting players outside of Bellinger, obviously Belton, Eluemunor, etc. But those are guys that we all agreed on. Like, yeah, we should bring it back. But when you're talking about Art Green and you're talking about who the fuck else you just mentioned, I mean,
Listen, top 5 line, and you're getting rid of 2 linemen off that top 5 line.
Oh,
as
I'm sorry. I'm
backups.
replacing the third stringers that we haven't seen take a snap this year.
One
My
was a
fault.
backup. One was a backup.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Schlotman
Actually,
was-
two were back. Slotman's a backup, and Stinny's a
Stinny.
backup. Yeah.
Look, like I said, both
And
of those
Slotman
players,
has come in and played well. Christian's like, no, we don't need a line. Just get rid of him.
I'm just
That's
saying,
fine.
both of those players, I
Dang.
can almost guarantee you, we can go through the draft, we could go through free agency, and they will still be sitting on their couch. So if it don't work
Maybe.
out, we could just give them a call and be like, hey,
Maybe.
I know you probably
I know
just
you're
came out of a
broke.
workout.
I know
and
you're all
Yeah.
out of money.
We're gonna
time with your-
we're
with
gonna
your
pull the
child.
Justin Pugh, get him straight off the couch.
Exactly. You know, I don't see any team being in a rush to pick up either of those guys. So why should the Giants?
Reminding you guys, NYGiantsRush.com got some new content up there. We got Kessler Jr. up there with cranking out some new stuff for us. We will have Dunleavy with us, who's normally with us every week. Had some type of Giants/Jets event to go to that he's covering tonight.
That must have been miserable.
Probably
Right.
was. So
Can't
Ryan
wait to hear about it
Dunleavy-
next week.
Yep, we'll hear all about it next week. He will be back with us. Make sure you're following. Look at Drew with the 6-7.
That's what we did.
So
earlier.
we'll have Dunleavy back next week, and hey, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and giving your thoughts. We're gonna answer your questions here in a second. Spartan, you did a very, very good job filling in and hosting and asking the questions because
I appreciate that. I couldn't have gone through 1.5. I gotta say sorry, Craig. I used to say I'll plow through subjects if you're not here, and we got through like 1.5 tonight.
it's all right. It's all good.
That 1.5 lasted like 40 minutes.
And
Yeah.
it was and it was a fun segment doing that.
It was.
I'm going to ask real quick, Spartan. There was some you mentioned? Did you get to the one main thing that you wanted to ask though? Didn't you have one thing that you really wanted to, or did you forget already?
Fake
Nah,
Spartan.
your list of
nothing in
topics?
particular was top of mind. I mean, I think
Okay.
after. Is there something top of mind for you,
It
Sean?
sounds like a setup here. What's
Yeah, Sean, I
happening?
think there's something top of
No,
mind.
because I just remember you had said something. You're like, hey, I really wanted to ask you guys' opinion. I couldn't remember if we got to it or not.
No, nothing. I think we covered a lot
Okay.
here. Craig, what
Okay.
about we have to do the one last drive, right?
Yep.
One last drive. Christian, can you hit that for me? All right, we end the show at one last drive. We go all the way back to the beginning of the show at 7:30. We crank through as many questions as we can, and we're going to hit you guys up with that right now. So let me go up. Christian, did you start up or do you want me to start? Oh, here we go. Gentlemen,
Okay.
can any of you tell me with a straight face without bursting out laughing or giggling how Joe Schoen can be retained at any possible cost come year's end. I'm going to take this only because we talked about this literally last week. This is not in defense of Schoen, and I'm not laughing or giggling. It's just the fact that the Maras really appreciate the fact that Schoen got dark. Why do we know that? Because he's always been big in his, with Sims. It was Eli. Sean, we talked about it last week. Kerry Collins got a second chance. The only way he can get this job is like my guy, Joe Schoen, rolled the dice, moved up back in the first round, and got me my next franchise quarterback. They could, not saying it's endorsed and not saying it will, but they can turn a blind eye and go, but we got the most important part and the hardest part that we've been looking for so long. I love that Joe had the balls to go up and get him. Again, not quantifying, not qualifying, just saying if there was any way, because you said, any of you tell me with a straight face, how can he get retained? Because they look at him and go, no one that we've had has been able to get us a quarterback in this building, since Eli, and you did it. And you're going to come back and find me this next guy. So that's the only way that happens. Christian, what else you got for me?
This actually transitions from this. I think this is a really good transition. From Cold, he says, why haven't they been grooming his eventual successor? I'm talking about John Mara.
All right, Sean, take that one.
Because the Giants just don't do things the right way. Like they're always reactive instead of proactive. I mean, unless they're grooming Tim McDonald to be the successor by moving him up as much as they did. But if you look at the history of since John Mara has taken over, they're reactive. They're never proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Spartan, do we need to tell the quick story about the Chris Mara story?
Let's do it, but we can't say who said it, right? And this is why, I get a lot of crap on Twitter where it's like,
yeah. All right,
so dysfunction in that organization, of all this, people that don't ever seem to be able to get fired. There's one guy who I think should actually be the president of the Giants, and it's Chris. Go ahead.
So a former
based
player,
on what we know.
Yep, a former player told us, that played and was very successful.
Very good.
Very good. Said that when they were kids and growing up, Chris Mara walked the sidelines, was the ball boy, the water boy, and was around his dad the entire time, growing up, learning football from his dad. And then when it got to the point of them being in high school, John went off to college. John went off to law school and was nowhere around the team where Chris was. And Chris was learning the ins and outs of football and learning the different
he was in the scouting department. He was in pro personnel for 20 years while the Giants were actually very good at it. Supposedly very, very good at his job. Made a lot of calls on a lot of the dudes that ended up being studs for the Giants.
Yep. And then John comes back from law school and, is, put in the president role, after his father passes away. Chris, who's consistently talking to John about decision-making, and John won't listen to Chris. Like, he just doesn't listen to Chris. So you have now Chris being like this. I'm not going to sit around here and be wasted. And you find Chris spending a lot of time with his second love, which is horses. Evidently, he's got horses and stables and that kind of stuff. So he's like kind of checked out. Now, I don't know if that's still that was a couple years ago. I don't know if that has shifted at all. But out of frustration, Chris has, at the time of this conversation, Chris was taking a back seat because he was making recommendations that John wouldn't take. Chris got frustrated and said, I'm out then. I'm tapping out. I've got other endeavors I can be involved with. If you're not going to make this what's the word? A cohesive.
Collaborative.
Yeah, collaborative and cohesive unit, then I'll just go do something else. That could have shifted over the years because that story now is 2 years old, maybe 3 years old.
I don't think it has. Now, this year's a little different from what I know, or from what Carl Banks has kind of alluded to. But no, it was a figurehead position for at least the last 15 years with no actual involvement.
Yeah. So there is some thought that if Chris did take over Cold as the successor, that maybe there would be a little bit more football understanding at the top because he's done it. He was close to his dad, basically, like I said, scouting, player personnel, kind of working his way up Cold. So They kind of were grooming him, but then the brother stepped in, to that role. So I hope that answers your question. What else we got?
Giants almost have to trade down if they're top 5, right? Don't need a quarterback or edge. Wouldn't take any other position that high, right? And this is from BCast, BCast 1207.
Yep. That's Brad. Go ahead, Christian. You take that one.
I think obviously the cliche takes 2 to tango. It depends on where they are picking, in the top 5. If they're picking at 5, I don't see them trading down. Now they're at 1 or 2, absolutely. But again, it depends. Do teams like the Jets, the Raiders, do they value any of these quarterbacks, whether it's Diego Pava, whether it's Fernando, I think it's Mendoza, do they value these guys enough to want to trade up, to 1 or to number 2 to select one of their guys? I think the Jets will be in the market for 2 quarterbacks, maybe even potentially 3. 1 drafted and then 1 obviously being the bridge and then having your backup. So I think it's possible, but I think if they're picking 3 through 5, no. I think they'll stick their guns and I think they'll stay there and select whoever they feel is the best guy, whether that's a wide receiver, a linebacker,
corner,
or Caleb Downs, whichever. But yeah, if they're top 2, for sure. If they're anywhere between 3 to 5, I don't see it happening. Personally, I don't see it happening.
All right, what else we got, Chris?
Let's see here. Look at here. From BK.
Did everyone see the Colts are working out Phillip Rivers? What? Come on, Brad. Is that possible?
They are working him out.
Well, because Riley Leonard is injured too, so they don't have, and Anthony Richardson can't go either. He's got the eyes, so they may have 0 quarterbacks coming up. So,
isn't like Tommy DeVito on the practice squad for New England, or is he active roster?
He's practice squad.
They can go snatch Tommy DeVito right now.
Yeah, but see, Rivers was there, so he could come in and know the offense right away, I believe.
But I think they want someone who they feel confident running their offense because they're still in the playoff hunt. They went from controlling their destiny to now, they're in the wild card spot. They're right outside, I believe, the wild card spot.
They are.
And I think Phillip Rivers, he hasn't played since COVID, which, my goodness. But if there's anyone out there, I think currently, I guess he would give them a chance to win maybe 2-3 games. I'm not shocked. The Bucs re-signed Jason Pierre-Paul today. I'm not shocked with nothing that's going on.
And Joe Flacco's coming back and playing well in this league at his age. So,
exactly.
Guys can come in and do it now. It's easier to come in and play quarterback as an older veteran because of the way the rules are set up, the way things are done. So, I'm not shocked either because he was there. So.
All right, what else you got, Chris?
This one I guess would be the last question. It says, what is this Wellington Tim Redux? I don't know what he means. I'll leave that to you guys. I don't necessarily know what he means. I think this was during when you guys were telling the Chris Mara segment.
Yes, because Wellington and Tim had an argument back in the day that led to some things.
But yeah, that's the last question. Yeah.
Drew wants. Is that what Leonard Marshall said? So there's a little let's say this, Drew. You might know something. You got some back alley info right there.
All right. Y'all know something. I don't know nothing. So hey.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Great show. Sorry I was late. These guys are capable, and as Cold says, the show only gets worse when I get here. So again, always appreciate you guys. We will be back next Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Ryan should be back in the house. We'll have to ask him about this Giants Jets, event that he somehow went to. He just sent me a text and apologize. I'll be back next week. And then I'm at some Giants Jets event, which really struck me as odd. So I was like, all right, We'll talk about it later. We'll see you guys next week.